All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. We've got yet another exciting interview. We've got Brice Butler, former NFL wide receiver, now turned like full-on golf enthusiast.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? And we've got him on the podcast in just a moment. We're going to get into everything. We're going to talk about, the golf culture in the NFL. We're going to talk about when he started playing, like how he got to where he is now, because I watch his videos. I mean, he's a golfer.
Yes.
We're not just saying like he's a guy who
He's pretty
plays
good
football, who knows about like he's a golfer.
Yep.
Like he knows what he's doing out there. So we're going to talk to him. We're going to bring him on the show. I'll ask him some questions. I want to ask him some like golf versus football questions, like where the passion really lies. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
But I've been excited about this one for a while. I'm sure we'll do more. I've been wanting to do like an on-site collab with him. I've been wanting to have him on the channel, play some golf. But I
think he was even also like the original like member of Good.
Yeah, I believe
way back when like it first started. So I want to ask him about that, and I just want to see if we can get as much out of him with that NFL experience. Like, what is it like as an NFL player to be able to play golf in that rigorous schedule? Like, how'd that even work?
Right.
Back then.
And golf now is seemingly becoming, or maybe always behind the scenes, it was a big thing in the NFL, and like we're just seeing more now. But I'm just thinking about like watching the match.
Yeah.
The other day, right? And you got like,
four elite quarterbacks.
Yep. And it just to me seems like this is a lot of guys in the NFL who not only playing golf, but they're playing it at a high level. So it's like, where's that come from? Like, are guys bringing each other into the game? So I got that down here. I'm like, I got to ask him. I got to dig in on that question a little bit. I'm excited about that. Other exciting things that we've got going on. We just announced our Voki Sm9 winner.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Just announced that we're going to do more giveaways, but we had our fitting and we just announced our winner. Thank you to everybody who participated. We had a lot of fun with that one. What else we got big going on right now? I'm trying to think about the stuff coming up.
We just got a lot of great, we got like Baltus Roll we're planning to do as far as course vlogs. That's coming up. A lot of great short lessons with Sprecher coming up.
Yeah.
Some courses we've never been to, even in our area, that I was able to kind of pull some strings for. So we got some great stuff coming to the main channel.
Calls, begging, pleading,
just begging. Can we come out there, please?
Yeah, but hey, summertime, it's here. Just stay tuned. Main channel, we're gonna have a lot of really fun stuff coming your way.
That's
What's
right.
that?
Brookline for the US Open.
Yeah,
US
Brookline.
Open.
Go back and watch the Brookline videos if you missed those two. I mean, we had so much great content that we filmed in May that just came out like the beginning of June. And it's just going to be nonstop, man. I hope you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. It was a treat getting to film up at the country club, but wow.
Yep.
Those guys playing those courses, it's just a whole different ball game. That rough was just, for all like of the, every year it's seemingly stereotypical at this point, like the comments about the rough at the US Open events. For all that, like when you experience it in real life, you get it.
Yeah.
It's
you get it.
You could be like 2 yards off of the green.
That's it. That's all it takes.
3 strokes to get from there, because it was
we struggled. We struggled.
Yeah, we did. All right. Let's do a quick word from our sponsors, and then we want to jump right into our interview with Brice Butler. You guys are going to want to hang on for this one because it's going to be a good one. So let's do a quick word from our sponsors. We'll get into it. All right, guys, got them right here. They just arrived. The brand new Voki Sm9 Wedges, fully customized out. Went with the jet black finish. I got a chrome finish mic there. Got his all set up. And guys, it's something you have to really get out and experience to really fully understand some of the difference. Let me put these down before I hit myself in the face with a club. Some of the difference that handcrafted technology that you get from Voki really makes. And each one is just an instrument of creative control. It's created from the most advanced materials, engineered to deliver that ideal flight and spin, and those grinds designed to release your best wedge play possible. I can't keep driving this home enough. If you get the opportunity to get fit, wedges, it's just, as I learn this game, as we explore this game, and as we become slowly better golfers, the more I realize that the wedges are the tools for scoring. And you start to realize that how by just getting that bounce and that grind that really matches your game, there's some of the most personalized clubs in your bag as far as I'm concerned. And if you match that up right, you're going to start to see those strokes just like come right off the game.
Easily.
It's just such a different world when you get fit right. And there's lots of different ways to make a wedge, but there's only one way to make a Voki. So the Titleist Voki design SM9 wedges, they're superior handcrafted technology. Look for yours today. And one thing we challenged you guys to do when we did our giveaway, Voki.com. They've got the wedge builder tool there. You can go through. It's so cool. On the screen, you see exactly what your wedge would look like. You can mock them up. You can do all that custom stamping, the different finishes. It's all right there. That's the look, but the performance, what's under the hood, that's what Voki, his claim to fame truly is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we've had Bob on the show before. Just absolutely a wealth of knowledge when it comes to golf.
Pretty,
and it's great what he's done with the SM9s. So get out there, experience them for yourself, get fit if you can. I'm telling you, that is the true game changer. And then when you're ready to pull the trigger, get into that customization, man, because it's some great stuff.
So much
great
fun
stuff. So thank you, Titleist. Go to Voki.com. Find out more about those Voki wedges.
And this podcast is sponsored by Gosling's Rum, the creator of the dark and stormy cocktail. Guys, let's go, right?
Let's go.
I mean,
19th hole.
The 19th hole, the official cocktail, the 19th hole. A couple weeks ago, we celebrated Dark and Stormy Day, which is the day that Gosling celebrates all their fans and their super fans, from all over the world with that handmade drink. It's like one of the most popular cocktails on the planet. And, it's a delicious combo of, get this, black rum. I love black rum. I'm a big fan. So Gosling's Black Seal Rum, and this is something I've never tried before, but the spicy Gosling's Stormy Ginger Beer. You a ginger beer guy? Occasionally.
I like it when it's mixed like
this.
this.
Exactly.
I'm not like a straight ginger beer guy,
right.
but I think it's the perfect compliment here.
And these things, you pour the ginger beer on ice, you throw it, you top it off with the dark rum, you put a little lime wedge in it. It looks awesome, and it's something you can't beat. It's great for the summer. I mean, visit goslingsrum.com to shop Sweet Limited golf merch. They got a lot of cool merch in their store, a bunch of different types of hats and cool golf swag, and you can order beverages right on the site, believe it or not, the rum, the ginger beer, and you'll get $15 off your order of Gosling's Rum, ginger beer, the dark and stormy cans, which they basically have. They have the drink made already in cans. It's super easy. Yeah. So you just
really want to make your life easy.
Make your life really easy. Yeah. Just do that. Super delicious. Use the promo code Golficity. That's it. One word. It's just Golficity, GOLFICITY. And this offer's valid through August 31st. So, don't wait on it. Go
Stock
get some
up.
rum, man.
Like we said,
right?
Summer. Let's go. Stock up.
Let's do it.
For sure. All right. Let's get right into our interview now with Brice Butler. All right. This is exciting. We've got Brice Butler on the show. Brice, welcome to the podcast, man.
What's up, guys? How we doing? Thanks for having me.
Sure thing, man.
Super excited to have you. I mean, we're going to have to do this in person at some point, too. Like, get out there and play a little bit. Love watching your videos, man. You bring some like a fun level to the game that we just connect to. We love that. It's just it's exciting stuff to watch.
Man, I appreciate it. I come from the football space, so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of trash talk. It's you try to stay light because it's really hard, and so that's what I try to bring to the golf game for sure.
When did you find the sport? Was it golf first, then football, golf and football always, or golf kind of at the end of the football career?
That's a good question. So I started playing football. The first sport that I started playing was basketball, and I played basketball up until high school, and then I realized that game wasn't that fun when it got serious. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised there, lived there my whole life until I went to college, and then I went to college at USC in California, and then I haven't really lived there since. But to answer your question, I played football first, obviously, and then I just played golf with my dad and stuff. Like my dad would bring us out. My neighbor had it was interesting back then, but my neighbor had a membership to Atlanta Athletic Club, and that wasn't far from my house. So we used to basically run around that club and get kicked out as young kids, just messing around. And so I always had an interest in golf, but I never had my own clubs. I used to use my dad's clubs. Went to college, flirted with taking a golf class, and then I was just like, there's no point. Get to the pros, and then I tried to figure. I was like, okay, I don't want to play basketball because I'm scared to like roll my ankle or get hurt. And then like I was a 7th-round pick, so you're on thin ice all the time until like you basically become a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I was just like, yeah, like the first rounder can play basketball, roll his ankle, he'll be fine. But like if I go out there and roll my ankle, like I'm gonna be looking for a job next week,
Right,
So
right.
Right.
I was like, I was like, what can I do to like, be able to compete that's not football and like have fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to play golf. Derek Carr, I was in Oakland at the time. So Derek Carr was playing golf with a lot of guys. So it like, sparked my interest to playing again. And then when I got traded to Dallas, Tony Romo kind of said something slick to me that like basically challenged me to like get my own set of clubs and like
Mm-hmm.
go after it. Like he had clubs sitting by his locker. I was like, you play golf? And, I don't, at this point, bro, like, I don't know nothing about golf. I haven't really played seriously, right? So I don't know handicap. I don't know none of that. And I was like, we should play sometime. Like, I know how to play, right? Thinking about like when I played when I was a teenager. And, Tony obviously is a player. So he looks at me and goes, like, what's your handicap? And I was like, what? I don't know what that is, right? And he was
Right.
like, you're never going to play with me until like you figure out what that is. So the type of person I am, like, I was like, oh, like, you just low key played me. Like, I'm about to figure this out. And I bought like a set of clubs and I started playing basically from then on.
Did
That's funny.
That was 2016.
so like I mean, like, what was the day off in the NFL for you to actually go to? Was it like a Monday? Do you have off to go play? Because you're either on the road or you're in practice, right? For the most
Right.
part.
Yeah. So the thing about football is interesting. Like, it's literally strategy all week until you play, right?
Right.
Mm.
Like, so you're at work. You're at work from 7:30 to 4 o'clock, and only maybe 2.5 of those hours is like physical, right? Like, practice is probably 2 hours, and then like you either lift weights for an hour or 45 minutes. And then our day off would be depending on the team, but the national like league day off is Tuesday.
Okay.
So typically you play Sunday, you fly back after the game, doesn't matter what time, how late the game is, you fly back after the game, you get back home. Monday, you go back in the facility, watch tape of the game, lift weights, and then Tuesday you have off. So for me, once I started playing golf, like Tuesdays was golf days for me.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I want to go back to this
Like,
Romo thing because
Yeah.
I'm still laughing at the fact that he was like vetting you before you played
Yeah.
over there. Like, what is it? Is it that these guys are just like, is there a lot of like money games going on? Or is it like they're serious like that? Or is, what was the reason like they wanted to, like he wanted to see like, are you able to keep up with them? You just vetting how
you know
serious
what's
you were or what?
That's a great question. It wasn't just Tony. Like when I came, it was like some of my coaches. When I got to the Cardinals in 18, Larry Fitzgerald
Oh,
obviously is a
big
big
golfer.
golfer.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when he found out, I remember when he found out that I golfed, he was like, "Oh, like we got him and Pat Peterson were like, oh yeah, we got another guy. You know what I'm saying? That's easy money, easy money." And then I was like, "All right, when we gonna go play?" And like Larry's funny. So Larry was like, let me see your swing. Like, let me see a video of your swing. And I was like, what? And like, so I showed him a couple, swing videos. And if you know Larry, like Larry's a clown. He's like me. He's a jokester. He's a clown. So
Yeah.
he like looked at a couple of my swings and he was like, I don't know if you're ready yet, dog. Like, it looks like you're gonna slow us up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Right, there it
what?
is.
Like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
So they were worried about the
everybody's
speed
kind
of
of
the
like
play.
that.
They
Yeah.
wanted to make sure you were going to play fast.
And Larry and that group, like Patrick Peterson, Sam Bradford, they play really fast. And like I learned how to play faster playing with them because like when they go, I live in Arizona. We live in Arizona, so in the summer you don't want to play a 4.5 hour round. It's too
Right.
hot.
Right.
It's
Brutal.
already 105 degrees here, so you want to get in and out. So if you play at 12 o'clock, it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to be moving. Like you need to be off the course by 3:30. So I learned that moving here, playing with them, because you don't want to be out on the course long. So yeah, it's stuff like that. I think guys bet because I do it now too. Like I have buddies that I'll go to the range with them. I'll look at their swing. I try to help them as much as I can. And then they're like, "Let's go play," and I'll be like, let's just keep coming to the range a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get your temperament on the court. Let's get your temperament right, because every time you hit a bad shot, I can tell you pissed off. That ain't gonna work out there. Like, let's. So I understand it now since I'm a better golfer. But when they did it then, I was like, nah, like don't try me like that, you know.
Either
So
way, though, it seems like golf is like a big like kind of subculture in the NFL. Like we were just watching the match. Like you see like a lot of guys playing at a high level, and the more we
yep.
hear about this, more guys playing. Is that something you find, or is it just a couple outstanding guys and we just see it, or are there a lot of guys playing golf?
No, there's a lot of guys playing.
Yeah.
I remember when Tony left Dallas, when he was done in Dallas, there wasn't that many players on the team. And then I started like, well, we had a long snapper named LP that was a freaking scratch golfer, and then we had our kicker. He was a scratch golfer as well, and then we had a trainer named Brett Besh. He was like scratch as well too. So we only had like a few guys that played, and then everybody else kind of looked at it like, "Why are you golfing? Why are you golfing?" And then um, I remember I was coming in like dressed like this, like every time to practice, because like right after I was going to Stonebriar Country Club, which
Hmm.
is right by the Star, to hit balls, and then guys like Dag, it starts to get, they're starting to, ask questions like, "How is golf?" Zeke, "How is golf?" And
Hmm.
then they go play amongst themselves and find that it's fun.
Yeah.
And then, other guys are getting involved, like, "All right, Brice, like, let's go play golf together." So now, like, I literally just had a buddy that's trying to sell simulators now, and he just met up with Zeke. And the dude told him that he knew me. And the first thing Zeke said was, like, "Brice got me into golf."
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
I got you.
So it's a lot of guys that can play. I mean, say there's more hacks than not, but then there's guys that like you probably don't know their names that are like scratch, like that grew
Hmm.
up playing golf. Obviously quarterbacks are always great because they have depth perception.
Yeah.
So like they're good putters, they hit the ball well.
Right.
But then there's guys that you're gonna look at and be like, "Man, you don't golf," and he go out there and shoot like 75 easy,
Yeah. You go
and you'd
take
be
your
like,
money.
"Dang,"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So
So for yourself, then, I mean, you're the amount of time you've taken golf seriously is on the scale of things relatively short. It's a couple of years. So you got good at the
yeah,
game pretty darn quick. I mean, I remember in one of your videos you mentioned your handicap was somewhere around like a 6, right? Like where are you at right now?
I'm at the same.
6. So
You
even
know
that,
how it is. Like, go ahead. Sorry.
like I'm just thinking even that, like to get there, not a lot of golfers even get to like the level that you play at now. You got there pretty quick and you had other things on your plate. So, like, what was it? Was it just that you were so interested, you just went all in? Did you get a bunch of lessons? Were you just playing a lot? How'd you get to this point?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm very like I have an addictive kind of like personality.
Yeah.
So like if I get into something that I like I go all in. Like I'm reading books, I'm watching video. Like I'm super into pickleball right now. So like I follow like almost every pickleball pro that's out there. Like I'm watching YouTube matches. Like I know where they're at. Like I think they're in New York right now. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? Like
yeah.
so like I used to DJ prior to all this. So like when I DJ like I would go to all the big DJ events that like Jazzy Jeff and all those guys would hold. Like I would fly, on off days or weekends to like go see these guys play, like shake hands, try to learn what I could, and I started DJing. I DJed in New York actually. But like I started DJing, and when I got into golf, it was the same thing. Like you find out that you're not good at it, and you're like, "Oh well, like I'm not about to go tell somebody that I play golf, and then like they see me play, and then I'm like trash." So like
Yeah.
I'm getting lessons. I'm getting lessons immediately. George Gangus was my coach for a time. Now my coach is James O. So it was a mixture of a lot of that. It was a mixture of getting lessons a lot, watching Rick Shields, like unlimited Rick Shields and Peter Finch videos, like in the
Yeah.
beginning. Figuring out equipment because in the beginning of golf, when you don't know any better and you have the means to get things, you're like, "Oh, I can't hit this driver, buy a new one." Not like,
Right.
let me go get a different shaft. Maybe the shaft stiffness isn't right. Like, no, I don't know that. I really don't know that I can do that. Like, let's go buy a new driver. So the TaylorMade driver's not working. Let's get the Tyler driver. Oh, that's not working. Let's get the Callaway. So, that drove me into like on YouTube and watching Rick Shields and being like, oh, I don't have to like buy 5 drivers. I can just learn how to fix my slice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I can figure out like that actually my technique is off. So now it's like, oh, I need a coach. So this guy named Britt was my coach in Dallas first. And then I forgot how I got introduced. I think I just reached out to George Genghis in my DM because with the Cowboys, our training camp was in like Oxnard, and he's not far from there. And I was like, hey, man, like I play for the Cowboys. Like, we come out there for training camp on my off day. Like, I would love to get a lesson from you. And he was like, sure. And so ever since then, me and him have been boys. And he was coaching me. And he was really good. But, like, at the time that I had him, like, I didn't understand a word that he was saying to me. Like, everything was like, he would say stuff and I'd be like, what? And now, like, I'll see a video that he posts and be like, oh, like he was trying to tell me that at 16, but like I just couldn't speak Spanish then,
Right.
So yeah, to answer your question, like it's all of that, man. Like I dove into it, and the rest is history. Still grinding though, like shot a 75.
Always,
Right, of course.
right? Like
Yeah,
the
still
pursuit
grinding.
never stops.
Yeah.
So
It never stops. It never stops.
So Brice,
It never stops.
what's the focus for you? Is it Instagram, YouTube? Is it both? Are you doing different things on different platforms? I mean, what do you got cooking up over there?
Great question. I always saw myself like being on TV, like media, like hosting shows.
Yeah.
And then once I kind of realized I think football is going to be over for me, I was like, okay, I have all these connections at these networks. Like I know people at NFL Network. I know people at Fox. Like let's start to get like some internships rolling. And that was in 2020. So once I started to think about that, COVID hit.
yeah,
So obviously people weren't doing that stuff at that point. So I'm like, what the heck am I about to do? Because like I don't think I'm about to get on a team. I need to do something. I'm not about to sit around the house not doing nothing. And then I hung out with so I got invited to go to Purcell Farms with my buddy Joe,
Right.
who knew like the good crew.
yeah.
At that time, it wasn't the good crew. It was just the young kids crew. That's what I called them.
But that's where it started,
And,
right? At Purcell Farms. That's kind of where the good was
for
born.
me.
So you were almost like
Yeah,
the founding
yeah,
member.
yeah.
Like one of the.
I was one, and then I decided not to. When we had to get down to signing like deals.
Yep.
Okay, there's a lot. I got my sons over there like just slamming the door like crazy. I'm sorry. And then once I was a part of the group. George was a part of the group, and then like once we came down to signing a deal with a specific company, I've seen a lot of contracts in my life. I just didn't think it was suitable for me, and I just was like, can't do this.
Yep.
And that was it. But like our working relationship, as far as like doing things together, hasn't stopped. I just wasn't a member. I'm not a member anymore. But yeah, that's where it started. I just remember hanging out with them. They were doing it, and I was on some videos, and then I just asked them a couple questions like, hey, like, how long y'all been doing this? And they were like, a couple years. And I was like, how much money y'all making? And they like told me, and I was like, what? And then I was like, I started thinking, I was like, well, like I want to be in media. I was like, and right now I can't really do anything. I was like, the only thing that I can probably do is try to use my platform and practice,
Right.
and I love golf. I was like, I love golf. And I was like, I think I can do this. And that's basically when it started.
Speaking of Joe, we were with Joe at the PGA Memes tournament last week, and we were talking about you.
Okay.
And he had nothing but praise. He loves you like a brother. He's a good dude. We just met him for the first time. So
Yeah.
you guys go way back?
So I met Joe. It's funny how me and Joe met. I was in Dallas playing for the Cowboys, and I'm trying to figure out the golf game, right? Like, I knew that networking. I know that networking is everything. So I'm
Sure.
like, okay, I want to play some of these nice courses. I don't think I want to be a member anywhere right now. I was like, I need to figure out how I can, get out on some of these courses because I play with my uncle, and my uncle, he plays nothing but public courses. He can't really afford to go out to, the big joints. So I was like, I want to kind of just see the other courses, right? And I think I put out a tweet back in 16 or 17, like, hey, if anybody can get me on at like Dobson, or not Dobson Ranch, TBC Craig Ranch, like, please hit me up. I would love to come play, And then I was checking my DMs on Twitter, and he hit me and was like, "I can take you out." Then we went out, and we just hit it off.
That's great.
That's
Obviously
great.
found out we're the same age, and it wasn't about anything to do with work. It was just like, let's golf. And then I found out that he did this type of work that he's doing now. I was still playing football, and I was like, I kind of need that. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what we can do. And that was it, bro.
That's
So
cool.
then at that point,
So-
so you kind of, as like the desire to get into media, share that type of stuff, the personality side. So that's where you launched the YouTube channel, and that's the main focus right now, as far as just like growing the channel, giving yourself a platform, like as you said, creating your own platform instead of relying on some other network's platform. And then that way too,
right,
you got more control. You can kind of do what you want to do. You do,
and that's what I love.
right. And you've got such a cool network of other guys, like you were saying before, who play golf. So is that the thing, you kind of feature some of the other guys from the NFL? And I know I remember J.R. Smith. I remember you saying you wanted to get J.R. Smith on there, and then you linked up with him, and you guys made an awesome video out of it. So like, that's the focus right now?
Yeah. So like, my thought is kind of like behind golf is, in football, I'm not really doing much of anything in football is because like we're already well represented in football. And when I say me, I mean like people of like, the black and brown communities. It's, if you look at the NFL, it's like 85%, African Americans playing football, right?
Right.
And, I love golf. And so growing up in Georgia, I remember, some situations to where, and maybe I was breaking some rules, but like you can go to places and that like people are looking at you like you're not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like you just understand that feeling. Excuse me. And so a lot of people like to play golf. And what I noticed when I started playing in Dallas, a lot of guys on the team who didn't play golf and didn't understand golf, they looked at it with like their nose turned up because they already had a preconceived notion of what golf was to them for whatever reason, right? And I'm finding out that like golf is sick. Like going to these like clubs or these private clubs or these public clubs, like golf is fun. You can go out and play music, and obviously I know that has been changing. That has changed over the years. So I know back in 2008 or whatever, 5, like maybe that wasn't so cool then, but now like you can do that stuff. Some courses even, and you guys know this, you can actually probably just wear a t-shirt as opposed to wearing like the full get up, things that people, and not just certain people, like everybody kind of looks at golf like that. Like, do I really have to wear a tucked in shirt and a belt if I want to play golf? Like, I don't wear clothes like that. A lot of people have those things.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, yo, like this would be really dope if, I can, just use my platform to just show people like golf is dope and like you can have fun. You can have the hip hop like kind of subculture persona and play golf and have a good time, just like this guy that works for Hewlett Packard, you know what I'm saying, over here that like, doesn't look like you at all, but you can be on the course with him and have the best 4 hours or 3.5 hour round together in your life and maybe open up a bridge of, connectivity that you would have never had by just being over here, where you were at, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I just think if I can, I was like, I know what golf has done for me over the years. And I was like, I think if I can just like kind of use that as my niche kind of and show like, young kids or not even people our age, like adults, like golf is actually dope. Like you can go to Top Golf and have fun. It's not like lame. You don't have to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like you can scream when you're happy. You can laugh at your buddy when he shanks the ball like in the water, like after you can do that, So that's pretty much my focus, man. I just want people to see the game as for it's not as, and we know like there's stuffy places.
There still is,
About golf. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's golf or not. Like it can just be stuffy, period. Like there's stuffy rooms in football. Like, there's you can literally go hang out with Hall of Famers that like you can leave the room and be like, dang, like I don't ever want to hang out with them again. Like, you know what I'm saying? And those are guys that you looked up to. Like, so it's not just golf, but from the golf aspect, I just want people to see like you can go out and be fresh on the course. Like that's why I started Fairway Fits on Instagram. Like you can go out and wear like a sick outfit that you think is dope and have the best time of your life just because you look good and go shoot a 95.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And the focus, I want to build my YouTube up as much as I can because, like I said, I want to do like hosting. I want to create, ideas and shows and stuff like that. And YouTube is a great platform because it allows you to do that. And Instagram, it's funny. Like I'm still kind of awkward. I feel like I'm still awkward on Instagram because I play football and I grew up kind of in the era of like, you work on football, like you don't do anything else. Like you don't bring a camera in the locker room. Like you don't do all that stuff. And so before, my Instagram platform really was just like pictures of me playing football on Sundays, pictures of me at practice. Like I didn't do much, So now like I'm still trying to come out the box a little bit of, okay, yeah, I did go play around with Frank and Matt and it was fun. So here's like 15 story slides with like text narration and it's funny. Like I'm still like learning how to do that stuff because like I've been so ingrained to not do it my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So it's fun though. I enjoy it. It's super fun. And I love the golf community, man. It's dope. It's different.
All right, guys, we'll get you right back to our interview with Brice Butler in a second, but we want to thank this week's sponsor, Precision Pro. And you guys know we've been loving the Precision Pro R1 Smart Rangefinder, but some of you asked, have we checked out their latest, the NX10? And yes, we have. Boom, there it is.
Play with style.
Play with style, the packaging. This thing, I absolutely love the customizations. First of all, it's super sleek as it is, comes out of the box in this nice white and black combo. But
show them the coolest
where
part.
the magic happens right here. This piece just pops off if you're watching the show. If not, I'll kind of describe it for you. But they've got these customization options that allows you to customize your rangefinder like never before. So they have matching colors that you can do, and you can swap these as simple as that, just on and off, change them, whatever it may be. You want to match your outfit that day, you could do it. But they also got these great custom limited edition sleeves that just slip on here for your favorite content creators. They've got Random Golf Club, No Laying Up, Fried Eggs. You can flaunt your favorite team colors, so much more. Hint, hint, there might be a Golficity one coming. We've been asking them.
Hint,
maybe
hint.
we can do something like that. But just a fantastic rangefinder. It is lightning quick. The last thing you want, we all want to play faster out there, right? Waiting on your rangefinder to find that pin.
Yep.
This thing, it's got that feedback. It vibrates. It's got the slope tool right there, the slope switch. You can tell if the slope is on or off, but it is like as quick as you can press this button, you've got your number. You know it. You feel it in your hand. You are locked on. So go check it out for yourself. PrecisionProGolf.com. Be sure to use our coupon code Golficity for a little bit of extra bonus discounts there. So remember, that's Golficity at PrecisionProGolf.com. Check out the new NX10. It is the most stylish rangefinder in the game, that's for sure.
All right, we're going to get you back to Brice, but first, I got to tell you guys about the fuel from FootJoy. One of the most common questions I get a lot is, I'm looking for a comfortable and an affordable pair of golf shoes. What do you guys think? I mean, I get that 3-4 times a week. And I can't say enough about the fuel. I mean, they're stylish. They deliver the fit and the comfort of a sneaker, which we love because we're walking out there a lot. Even if we're in the car, we still have to walk to our ball, walk up some hills. It's packed full of golf-specific innovation for everyone, men, women, juniors, you name it. I love the vibrant colors, the incredible comfort that I was talking about, the terrific traction, and that athletic look, and the feel. One thing about this shoe, Frank, I know it's one of your favorites in the lineup.
Yeah.
It appeals to all players of the game. You don't have to be like a scratch golfer. Doesn't matter whether you're wearing shorts, wearing pants, where you're a fedora, whatever you're wearing.
Whatever
out there.
you're wearing.
Whatever you're wearing out there, you're going to look good in the FootJoy fuel. I don't care what they say.
It's been my go-to recommendation too. A lot of people in the Facebook group have been saying like a couple things in mind. Like I want comfort. I walk a lot. I want spikeless. And I'm looking for something that's not going to break the bank.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be where it's like, forget about it. It's outrageous. The price on these things, it hits every one of those things. And that's why if you watch our videos regularly, you'll probably see that it's been my most worn shoe this whole
It really has
season
been.
so far.
And getting that traction is key because you're like, it's so cheap. I mean, it's not so cheap, but it's a cheaper option. It's lighter. I want that spiked option, but I want that traction, and it just offers it. It's spikeless, but it gives you that traction, which I love, and it's important. So the FJ Fuel has been engineered to bring some serious heat to your game. Read up all about these shoes. Just go to footjoy.com, and guys, pick up a pair. You'll like them. I promise you.
Comes highly recommended. Yeah. All right, let's get back to our interview right now with Brice Butler. What you're saying is so right. The golf community too is like, it's so different. There's so many different people who have like all different other interests, but like golf is this shared interest we have. Like even just thinking like golf YouTube, right? There's so many different ages. There's so many different personalities, but yet we all love this one same thing. And it shows that diversity of the game. But I think what you were saying is so right. Like golf, it's not a golf problem. It's like golf had a messaging problem. Like the game itself is awesome. It's just somewhere along the line, it got like this bad name, and now we're all trying to reverse it. And I think one thing that reversed it in a huge way too was like the silver lining of like COVID, right? Like you had so many kids go out and play golf for the first time because all their team sports were shut down. And then they're like, that's all it takes. You just got to get them there to play it once. And then they realize like, whoa, like you said, this is not what I thought it was. This is awesome. It's me and my boys were out here just having a great time. Like, how could you not enjoy this type of thing? So I think it's exactly right. Like it's got to be like guys like yourself, like take your platform, just show them like this is a different side. You wouldn't see this. It's like, in a way, it's kind of like no different than what you were doing in person back in the NFL, where you're saying like one guy would lead to another, like be like, yo, you got to try golf. Come out with me. I'll show you the ropes. Now you're doing that like on a broad scale. Like this is my YouTube channel. Check it out. That's what we do. We share a very similar thing. And like our thought for our YouTube channel was like, let's show people that you don't have to be very good at golf to have fun.
Yep.
Because I think that's the other stigma that the game gets. Like people, you see all the like frustration in the throwing clubs when you're not doing well. So a lot of people think like in order to have fun, like I got to play well. And we're out there like we're trying to show people like, I don't care what you shoot. Like you're in the sun with your friends, man. This is a good time.
Right.
So I think you're spot on there. It's just like golf it needed someone with a bullhorn just to say like, yo, this is fun. Like go out and try it type of thing.
Yep. I agree. Yep. That's yeah. And it's funny what you said too. Like I have buddies that are beginners and I'm be like, have you played on the course yet? And they're like, nah, like I don't want to go out there and embarrass myself. I'm like, bro, just go out there with like some of your buddies, dog. Like go out there with guys that are the same as you and just play and play back. If you get bad golf, play bad golf fast.
That's it.
That's it. Like there's 4 strokes per hole.
Nowadays we got more ways to play golf than ever before. Like go to Top Golf. Like have a beer and some food there and just like take a couple cuts until you get used to it. Like it's so low pressure. Right. Mm-hmm. Like these are things that we didn't have in the game before. Like driving ranges. Right. Now it's like it's almost expected at Top Golf that like half the people who are there are not even golfers. So I think it's more welcoming that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Brice, who's your favorite tour player? Who do you root for week in, week out?
You know what I'm like I'm a guy that like if I know you, I'm gonna root for you like all the time. So like I know Tony Finau, I know Jason Day, I know Max Homa. So like I'm always rooting for the guys that I know.
That's
so
cool.
Like and it's like it's biased. So like it's funny. So this year, the Masters, I did like a little post from when I was there a couple of years ago, and I was like, it's Masters week. Like, who do y'all think is going to be in the top 3 or whatever, right? So I was like, I think it's going to be Finau. I said Jason Day and Scheffler, right? Mm-hmm. So then, like, I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm getting like loads of people that like know Day and know me, and they're like, Jason's not playing in the Masters. Like, Jason's not playing in the Masters. He's not playing in the Masters. So like, I had to change it, but like. That's just how I'm ingrained. Like, it's my boy. So like, I'm thinking like he's playing. Like, I don't know like if somebody's in or I don't look that closely. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just thinking he's in. It's Jason Day. Like he should be in, right?
Right.
So like, that's just like a little funny story because like I kind of felt embarrassed. I was like, dang, like I hope he didn't see that and like take it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't mean it. Obviously, I didn't mean it in a negative way. I just thought he was in the Masters. So. So I mean, typically, man, like, I like those guys. I don't know everybody, but then I kind of tend to like some of the players that kind of have like football-ish seeming characters.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like our personalities. Like Brooks kind of seems like a guy that like doesn't give a flip
Yeah.
from the outside in.
Mhm.
He seems like a guy that really doesn't give a flip of what anybody has to say.
Yep.
I like that, because like that's kind of how we are in football. Like, we say a lot of crazy things in the media, and then like for the most part, we don't really care about like what maybe a Skip or a Stephen A has to say about what we did. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Right.
whatever. And we don't really have to answer to anybody as long as you protect the team in your comments, right? So like if I say something that I'm talking bad about my coach or I'm talking bad about my teammates or whatever, obviously somebody's going to say something to me. But other than that, you got pretty much free range of what you could say. So I like Brooks for that reason.
So with
I like JT too.
JT's great. He's my favorite out there. With these guys you're buddies with, Home a Day, like, do you ever see yourself getting them on your YouTube channel? Is that something you're striving for, to get some names like that?
Yeah. So I always mention it to him. Like I don't ever want to be that guy that's like, bro, every time he sees me, like he's going to ask me to be on the channel again.
Right,
Like,
of course.
cause I've been in that position where like, I understand that. So, honestly, there's only two people that I've ever really talked to about it. And it was Jason Day and it was, Tony Finau. And I've had Jason Day on mine. Like Jason literally invited me out to be with him in Palm Springs for like 3 or 4 days. And that was awesome. Just learning from him and just seeing how he grinds daily and, getting inside his mental a little bit. So we shot a video, and like in that video, it's literally kind of like what I did there the whole week. It's not a match video. It's none of that. It's literally like we're just hitting balls, and he's asking me questions like, "What are you thinking about on this shot?" And I'm like, "I don't know, bro. Just like it's 150. You just put it on the flag." And he's like, "Well, like what shot shape are you thinking?" I'm like, "I don't do that, bro." Like what I'm saying? Like it's literally that. Like that's literally what that video is. It's like, bro, what? Like you think about that? Like I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was cool, and then. I played with Tony for the first time like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I played with him, Aaron Baddeley, and his son, Drace, right? And it was funny because I started off real hot, like playing well. Like I was like, even, we played Silverleaf, which is a really tough track in AZ. And I started like even like in 6 holes. And I was like, oh, shoot, like, I can play with these dudes. Like, okay, like.
Yeah.
And then, like, I knew in the back of my mind eventually, like, something was going to happen, right? And they just started dogging me because I couldn't get the ball off the tee. And I was like, all right, whatever. And so his son comes out, like, on the back 9. And it was hilarious, like, because Tony was like, his son's like 10. He's like, you and Drake should, like, do a match. And, like, since I was getting beat so bad by them, like, I just accepted it with, like, no thought, like, of, hold on, like, why did he just, like, tell me to get into a match with his 10-year-old. Like,
10-year-old.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to be better than his 10-year-old, right? And so, and you should play straight up. Mind you, they're kicking my butt so bad. Like, I'm just like, yeah, like, I'll beat him. Like, he's a 10-year-old. Like, I'll get some type of, like, I'll get back, And I should have sat down and thought, like, hold on. This is a PGA Tour player's son. He's 10. He has to be decent. You know what I'm saying? And then Tony said I should play him straight up. Like that, there's like red flags in there that I'm not really seeing. And man, that dude, we played 4 holes. He literally beat me every hole. And I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And so I like, I shot it all and put it on, like I did a funny narration thing. And like everybody was like eating it up. Like people were like, oh, this is sick. That was so funny. And so while we were there, I was like, Tony, I was like, this is what we're going to do. I was like, exactly what this is. I was like, me and your son are going to do like a 5 or 9 hole match. And I was like, you're going to narrate it. And like, so you'll be like the commentator. And he was like, bro, that's sick. Like, yeah, we're doing it. So he was like, I'm going to be back at this time. Like, and I was like, bro, like, whenever you're back, it's fine. Like, we don't have to like really schedule it like crazy. Just when you come back, hit me up and we'll get it going. So like, it worked out beautifully that way, with Tony. So that's how I kind of want to do it with those guys. If they ever want to do it, if we're talking casually and they don't mind, like let's do it. But I'd rather just kick it with them than
Yeah.
It is amazing though how
trying to get
good some of these kids are, like at young age. Dude, it reminds me of that story. Do you ever hear that story with like JT and Michael Jordan? When like Jordan used to use JT like hustle some
people.
of his group.
Really?
This is when like JT was like young coming up. You know, his father is like a teaching professional.
Yeah, right,
Same
right,
thing.
right.
He
right.
learned from whatever. And I heard this story, and I don't remember where it was. It was like one of those like animated things. They recreated it, and they said like, I know Jordan likes to play for like big bucks too.
Big bucks. Yeah, I know a lot of people that play with him.
So he's like, no, I'll bring this. Like, I guess JT was maybe 12 or 14 at the time. He's like, I'll bring this kid out and we'll play you guys. And then JT would just like smoke them. And it just shows you some of these guys are just so good at that young age. But
and that actually that brings up another thought. And it's so funny you brought MJ because I was gonna ask Brice a tough question.
Okay, go for it.
But I want to switch it up a little bit. All right, than what we have here. So we'll put Brice Butler in the hot seat for a quick second. And I know you got a passion for football and golf. And as creators, we crave that collaboration. We crave that great next video that's going to get the 65,000 views, the J.R. Smith, something like that. So I could say you can win either a Super Bowl ring or MJ calls you and says, Brice, come out to the Grove, bring 2 buddies, bring the cameras, let's film it, let's go. What would you do?
Well, I'm already retired, so I'm going to the Grove 23 immediately.
But even if yeah, true, okay. But
when I was playing, I wasn't doing this. So like, it's kind of it's tough because like even then I would be like, damn, like Jordan's calling me to play golf with him.
right.
But my whole life I've been working to get a Super Bowl. So like obviously, and I played 7 years and I went to the playoffs once.
Yeah.
So like it's hard, dog. Like Brandon.
Now that you're bit by the golf bug, though, like, which would it be? If it was either one, any time in your career, would it be a Super Bowl ring or a Masters win? If you could win the Masters or win the Super Bowl, which would it be?
Oh, honestly,
the Masters.
Masters.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Easy. I'm a receiver, so unless I had like 350 yards and like 50 touchdowns in the Super Bowl game, like when they watch the highlights, yeah, they might show a couple of my highlights, but who are they going to show? They're going to show like the quarterback,
right? Of course,
they're going to show like like maybe the defensive end if he got like 3 sacks and like whatever like remarkable play that happened to like catapult your team, like the Atlanta Falcons Patriots Super Bowl, right? Like Julian Edelman made that like ridiculous snag off like dude's foot. Then you got the David Tyree catch. Like they always going to show David Tyree's like catch on his helmet against the Patriots to beat them when they were like 18 or 19-0, right? But like I'm saying, unless I like had a crazy game,
right,
yeah, true enough.
They're not going to show me on them highlights.
That's true.
Like
That's
I'm just going to have the ring.
Yep.
But if I win the Masters,
think about all that. Now you're going back every year. Champions dinner.
Yep.
Right there. There's no champions dinner before the Super Bowl, right? No. So
heck no. They might have a couple of events. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's nothing like that. And I'm from Georgia too, so like that would be crazy.
I just
win the Masters.
I would just say the Masters are probably going to get picked 10 out of 10. I'm glad you brought it back up though.
Well, you never know. That's why, like I said, it's just, that's the difference: the team sport, the individual sport. Yep. But it's just so funny, like I said, because you have such a stake in your life in those in those 2 sports. It's just an interesting dynamic,
right.
and it just shows, like I said, that diversity. How you can kind of have both. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, no, go ahead. No, I'm gonna let you go. I hate screwing up your groove.
No worries about it. No, what I was gonna say was just basically I don't want to let you go without first kind of talking about what's on the horizon. Big summer's coming up. I would imagine like a little bit of travel.
I was just gonna ask him about his travel plans.
Exactly.
So there you go.
There you go. We're thinking with the same brain. What's coming up? What's coming up for you?
Yeah, this summer is about to be mad. And you guys, I'm sure you guys know, just like I know, man, like when you're traveling and doing this, it's tough, man. Like, cause you can be like, I'm gonna be in LA next weekend playing Bel Air with Andrew Whitworth, which is gonna be sick. And then like 2 days later, I'm gonna be in New York. And now, mind you, the New York trip is like mainly because of me, but I'm gonna use it to, I'm gonna get social content out of it. So, we're gonna play Bedminster, we're gonna play, I think, Essex, and then either Sleepy or Baltusrol. I'm gonna try to get onto those as well. which are courses that I haven't played. I played Trump last year, Bedminster, and it was fantastic. I forgot which one we played. We played the one I think we played the one that y'all played in the PGA memes.
The old, right?
I
The
think.
old course, yeah, there.
No, I think I played the new one then. Okay, so the new one I think has that big flag and it's like you're teeing off and like the left side of the clubhouse. If you look to the left, the clubhouse is to the left. That's the one I played. So I don't know.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
There, yeah, I'm sorry. And then, yeah, man. So traveling is crazy. So it's gonna be a lot of content this summer. There's gonna be some good collabs because I'm gonna be in Texas. So I'm about to leave here and go to Texas for the summer. I don't want to be in Arizona getting smoked by like 117-degree heat. I'd rather deal with like 90 and 90% humidity. So I'm gonna go take the kids, the family to Texas for the summer, and then I'm Chicago. Going to Bandon Dunes with Malbon and the crew, which is gonna be freaking crazy.
That's gonna
Have
be
you
fun.
been to Bandon before? I've not been out there yet.
Yeah, bro. The thing I went with my buddy Cameron in 2020, like right when Sheep's Ranch opened. It was literally like the week because I was supposed to go with Ashley K. Mayo and a lot of like the 8 a.m. The 8 a.m. crew.
Yep.
And they canceled because they were all coming from New York, so they didn't want to go because of COVID. And I was just like, I want to go to Bandon. I'll go. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. And so me and my boy Cam went up there. And we literally played every course in like 2.5 days or like 3 days. Like when I tell you, when I came from that trip, I couldn't feel like my legs.
Yeah.
Like it felt like I was in training camp, dude. Like, oh my God. I made the mistake of like trying to be cheap and saying like, nah, like I'm already paying a lot. I'm not like having somebody carry my bags. I'll never do that again. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Like that walk there, dude.
Were you filming golf
ridiculous.
at the time?
At that time, that was the first time I brought a camera to the course.
Okay.
The first time.
It's a good place to start.
Didn't know how to use it though. So like you haven't seen the footage because it's terrible. Like I look at it from time to time and I'm like, oh my God, like that is so exposed. Like that's so bad, So it'll be good to be able to go back and, shoot some stuff because that place is content heaven. Like you can shoot so much content there as long as you have, maybe a plastic bag to cover your camera because it's gonna be wet. But yeah, there's gonna be a ton of travel this summer, man. Plan on a lot of YouTube videos, plan on a lot of Instagram reels. I kind of want to start doing like I have a thought of like I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, so I'm trying to do more like those funny skit like back and forth, like I'm talking to myself. Those types of reels. Like I want to do that. Like I'm trying to psych myself into like actually doing one. Because I like think I could do funny ones, but I'm always like, no, you're not funny. Nobody thinks you're funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Then you do one, and then it's like I got to keep doing this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I'm just waiting for the time I actually do like my one, and then I know it's just gonna be like bam, 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 bam. So yeah, a lot of good stuff, man. I'm excited. Hopefully, I can come up to New York and get some golf with you guys on the second
especially
round. I know
Sleepy, man. We'll get you out at Sleepy. We're really close with Kevin Sprecher over there. We do a lot of our content at Sleepy Hollow. So maybe we'll get around it over there. It's a special place, man. It's a fun course.
I heard. Yeah, one of my buddies, Eric Mayville, I don't know if you know him. He does fair game golf with Adam Scott and those guys.
Okay, yeah.
He's like a behind the scenes guy. He's a member there, and he was like, anytime you come to New York, man, like let's go play. And I was like, hey, I'm coming. Like I want to go to Sleepy.
Yeah, you only got to ask me once.
So yeah, that'll be exactly. And that's how golf is. Like it's funny. I have a buddy named Bill. He's like one of my good friends now. He's an older cat from Chicago, but he lives here. So I met him while I was looking for my house when I moved here. And the realtor knew him. He knew I was into golf. So he calls Bill over. Bill works for the PGA. And Bill goes, if you ever want to play golf, like call me. Like I can get you on almost anywhere here. And I looked at him. I was like, please don't say that thinking that I'm not going to call you. Like I'm okay with that. If you really don't think I'm going to call you, like that's fine. Like let's just like be transparent now. because like
Yep.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Exactly.
And me and Bill have been like, really close friends ever since, because like literally like we go play golf together like all the time. So,
That's cool.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff. I'll be back in New York in September, so around 9/11. So, I'll be looking you guys up for sure.
Let's do it. I mean, New York in September, is beautiful time to. It's like one of the best times to
The
play
best.
golf. So we'll
The
definitely
best.
do that. And I think you mentioned before we came on, you're going to be at the U.S. Open. You're going to be up there, Brookline.
Yeah, so I forgot about that. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm shooting some content with American Express at the U.S. Open this year, which is going to be fun. It's actually crazy because me, George, Josh Kelly, Haley Ostrom, or whatever, we shot like the tour from California to Brookline, like taking the trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it was a replica trophy, but we did some work with the USGA, so it was actually kind of cool when I got this gig to go up there, because I was like, oh shoot, like this is dope. Like I thought I would never go to Brookline, but I'm actually going now, so
Yeah,
it'll be
That's
fun.
cool.
that's cool the way those things work out. All right, well, listen, we'll
Yes,
let you
sir.
go. One thing I do, I think what we'll do, we got to have you back on the podcast. Let's do week 1 of the NFL. We'll get your picks. We'll have you pop back.
Oh,
on the
yeah, all
podcast.
day.
How's that sound?
All day. Y'all hit me up. I'm down, man. I love doing stuff like this. Let's
I
get
love it. And when you're back in New York in September, we'll definitely get out there. And the podcast it's great. I love getting out there in person, like you said. There's nothing that beats getting out there on the course with somebody and getting to play. So
Exactly.
we'll get out there together.
Hold on, time out. So you guys are New York guys. You talk about NFL. Are y'all like Giants fans?
Yeah.
Is that going to be a mark against us?
It's not gonna be a mark, but we'll have a lot of fun banter going back and forth.
Yeah, that's
Good.
for sure.
Yeah, no, we both grew up as
Pats fan.
we're cousins. We're cousins. Our fathers are brothers.
Okay.
So
Okay. Cool.
We're second generation Giants
That's right.
fans. Let's put it that way. Both of our fathers were
Oh,
big
okay,
Giants fans. My father was at, what was it, Super Bowl 25? Well,
With my dad, right? Yeah, they were
he
there.
was he there too?
They were
They
down
went
there.
together?
They
With-
were, yeah. That's right.
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that
so-
Tyree was like my
That's
favorite
sick.
last moment.
Yeah.
My last favorite moment. That's how bad it's
There
been.
you go. All right. Well, listen, thanks again. Just best of luck to continued success with the YouTube channel, all those pursuits. I mean, I love what you're doing. As you said, giving your voice to the game, sharing your game. I think we're going to see even more so in the coming years. There's this boom as golf kind of shakes off that stigma of some of that stuffiness we talked about, and I think it's great for the game. The more people we have in the game, the better it is for all of us. And just keep it coming, man, because I really enjoy your stuff.
I appreciate you guys, and because you have that fresh FootJoy sweatshirt on, I got to get you guys featured on a Fairway Fits episode, because I know y'all like to talk about like the gear as well.
Love it.
So we'll have to do that too in the future.
Let's go.
for sure.
We're in. Let's go. All right.
Awesome.
Listen,
Sounds
great
good.
chatting with you. We'll catch up real soon, and we'll for sure get you back on the podcast soon.
All right, appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good weekend.
You
Thanks,
too.
Brice.
Brice, take care. All right, that was a lot of fun. I mean, there's just some interviews we do, Mike, where I just feel like, if we had unlimited time, I could just keep going.
Yeah. Super cool, down to earth guy.
100%, and there's sometimes when you're talking to somebody, you can just tell like how legitimately they like really enjoy the game. You know what I mean? It's not lip service. It's not like, sometimes some other athletes like, yeah, I play golf too. Like I'll play once in a while. Like, no, if you didn't pick that up in that interview, you were sleeping, because you could tell Brice is like, as he said, he got really hooks into it and loved the game. And it's so funny. It's so relatable. Sounds so much like us when he's saying like his buddies giving him invites and be like, you better be serious, because I'm calling in that invite. I'm going to go play golf with you.
Yep.
So I've really been enjoying what he's been doing. I think it's a fresh take, and I think what's so cool is that he's able to bring some of his friends into his content. Like we talked about, other NFL guys from the NBA, I saw he's some MLB players on there, like just taking some of the other professional athletes and just kind of showing their love for the game. It's just really enjoyable.
It's great.
I'm impressed with how well he plays, and we've been playing the game a lot longer than he has, and he's got a lower handicap than we do, which just shows you his dedication.
Exactly.
To learning the game.
You're right.
But I guess it definitely helps when you've got George Genghis as your
Yeah,
coach for a
that
bit.
can help.
That can definitely help you get.
But you know,
over
great
some
collabs
hurdles.
with Larry Fitzgerald, Charles Woodson. You know, I know he had J.R. Smith, like we said.
Yeah,
Great
so
stuff.
if you haven't already checked out Brice's channel on YouTube, definitely check it out. That's where he puts most of the content that we were talking about here. You know, give him a follow on Instagram and everything as well. But YouTube is really where it's at. You really get to see his personality and you get to see, you know, as I said, his take on the game. So really enjoyed that. And guys, we've been loving this new series of interviews that we've been doing here, getting a chance to get some of, you know, our friends and some people who we've just been fans of for quite some time onto the show. Talk to them about what they've been going on, but we want to hear from you guys. You know, who else do you want to see on the show? What are some other interviews that you've just been itching to hear? You know, what are some of the other either golf content creators or somebody else in the golf space that you just want to dig in a little bit more and hear a little bit more about their life and their backstory and their shared passion for the game? Let us know. Comment below. You can also email us at podcast@golficity.com. We love your input, and it really helps us, you know, try to find some fresh people to get on the show and talk to them about, because it's one of my favorite parts of the game is just exploring new personalities and getting to know new people. And I think that's one of the best ways to do it. So hop in there with your suggestions. We love to hear them. In the meantime, make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, give us a follow. We've got new episodes coming out every single week and a whole lot of great interviews lined up for you. All right. We'll see everybody again next week.